This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. Today, we are talking with Brittany Coleman. My sorrow. Welcome, Brittany Coleman, to the Queen Lizzie podcast.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Brittany is going to be representing or talking about gun violence and other stuff. And I'm going to let her. She is going to share that with you. Whatever you want to, start wherever.
Yeah.
And talk about it.
Well, first, thank you. I'm really happy to be here. I've been looking forward to being on the podcast.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm here to talk all things Impact GMV, which is the city's umbrella, if you will, for gun violence prevention. It's fairly new. I've started back in March of 2024. We launched Impact GMV summer of last year. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, we're coming up on our anniversary this summer. But it's been a really exciting ride. I've been able to kind of stand on the shoulders of folks like Chief Tony Jones and others that have been doing this work for a very, very long time.
Okay.
So just to kind of give you a little bit of background, if that's okay.
Sure. Perfect.
So I think back in 2023, the city, they hosted a gun violence prevention summit. So they asked folks from all over, law enforcement, community members, young people, to kind of gather around what we can do as a community for gun violence prevention. And out of that summit came ideas and feedback and, even some criticisms about how we were moving forward. Because if you can remember back to kind of the earlier days of COVID, we saw a huge uptick in gun violence.
Exactly. And I did an Rosewood ad, and so did Shireen Matisse.
Yeah, Shireen.
Yes, she did one also.
Yes.
So I understand it was during COVID.
Yes.
You had a slow period or something happened during that time, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, we know that there were a lot of inequities happening around response and things like that during COVID. And one of the unfortunate things that we also saw was the spike in violence, gun violence in particular, right? So when this summit happened, the city was experiencing an increase that we hadn't experienced, I think, really
in gun violence.
Do
you think it was because people were being not shut out at home with nothing to do?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of many things, but I think some of we saw folks not having access to some of the things that they needed, right? And this was one of the unfortunate things that we saw. So after this summit and, folks got together, the city was able to create this position, which is the gun violence intervention program manager position with the city. The first of its kind, to bring me and some other folks in and to say, how are we going to look at gun violence to get these numbers down? So I started in March, and we launched Impact GMV, and our whole focus is to look at gun violence from a public health perspective. So, like law enforcement, our first responders, they're looking at public safety, how to get guns off the street, people who are doing bad things. We look at what we call like social determinants of health. So the communities that folks live in, the health of the neighborhoods, what folks have access to, what they don't, what programs are available, and kind of like how those programs are distributed across the city, things like that. And so our goal is to first and foremost come alongside people who are already doing the work. One of the things that came out of that summit is we don't want you to take over. There's a lot of people that have been doing a lot of good work for a very long time.
Okay.
So one of our goals is to support those programs by limited funding or capacity building. So if they need help or advice on how to grow their programs, we can kind of help talk with folks about that, talk about funding that might be available, whether it's through the city or local funding or federal funding, even state funding, like trying to connect folks to things that could help their programs. We also work very closely with the Children's Trust.
Yes.
We work very closely with the county.
Okay.
And together we've kind of created, and also Santa Fe College is one of our partners. So we've created the Alliance, which is a lot like a task force, right? So we bring a lot of people to the table to talk about what we want to be doing as an entire county, not just the city of Gainesville. And how we bring in some of our smaller areas, our municipalities, some of our rural places.
Rural, yes. Archer, Hawthorne,
yes,
Micanopy. We need you all.
Yes.
We really do.
Yes. And a lot of our team members are from these rural areas.
Rural areas. That's so true.
Yes. And I'm not originally from Gainesville, but I grew up in Columbia County. Lake City area, so very familiar with the rural area.
Yes.
And so it's been exciting to kind of bring in a whole bunch of different people. But under Impact GMV, we do a couple of different things in addition to like supporting organizations. We have our team of violence interrupters or street outreach folks who look at what's happening in community, help to kind of mitigate or mediate violence or conflicts. That's overseen by our gun violence coordinator, Mr. Caleb Young. He's got a team of folks underneath him sitting over here in the corner. And they're out, like they're boots on the ground. They're in community. They're talking to folks. They're talking to young people.
Right.
There's been fights and conflicts and things like that. Social media. So their job is really to be out there, to be consistent, to be a voice in the community. So when things, conflicts arise, they can, understand how to help.
So basically, you have reached out to almost everyone, and just like you said, the rural communities, we are already incorporated, so we're not looking for sympathy, we're looking for empathy. We need help to continue doing what you all have established and what you're working hard right now as we speak to make sure it happened. And I met, you all can't see him, but he's in the house, Caleb Young. He does an excellent job. He also works out in Archer, and he does an excellent job each Christmas giving away more than 400 bicycles to the community children, not for Archer. Everybody from every locality in Alachua County are invited to participate. That's awesome. Yes, and I appreciate what you're doing, and back to you.
That's a part of it. They do a really great job.
They do a great job, and we really, really, really appreciate it very much. Okay, Caleb. I met Caleb. When did I meet you, Caleb? 2 or 3 years ago. Yes. And he has been there for me. And right now he is working at the, what's the name of the center?
Well, I was about to say, let me tell you about the Clarence R. Kelly Center. Because I know you got pulled in last week or a week before. And
is that a no-no?
No, we love it. Okay. Like, we need to connect our young people to history. And, we just got out of Black History Month, right? So that was another part of like, how do we bring programming that's relevant, that's intentional to young people? So for, several months we were working on getting access to the Clarence R. Kelly Center, which a lot of folks call the Blue Center in Duval. So in December we were able to get access to that building. So 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Mr. Young and his team are there. With a local educator who's from Caring and Sharing, and remind me of her organization, Growing Young Minds, I believe.
I think so.
So Miss Erica Perry, so she comes in with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, teaches the kids hands-on activities, STEM, some social, emotional learning, different things. But for February, we really wanted to lean into history and how do we bring that in, and Rosewood.
Yes, she did. She has brought it in. We were supposed to publish a book. However, I had to, we had to go out of town for the weekend. We did not complete that job, but that's okay. We're going to get it done because she is really into getting the young kids involved in history, which is so important. And I appreciate it so much. And I try to meet her on Tuesdays and Thursdays. When I can't, I do let her know.
Yes.
Because I live in Archer and I'm in Gainesville 2 or 3 times a week. But what she is doing is honorable mention. And we need to reach out and help her as much as we can.
It was so successful. I don't know if you saw it, but they built a replica of Rosewood.
Yes, I did.
Did you see it?
Yes.
It was
Awesome.
great. It's in my office. I got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that.
Okay. I am too. And you know what? I wrote a Rosewood song. I'll sing 3 verses later.
Oh,
but
okay.
anyway, she has diagrammed that complete song with pictures. Awesome. And I'm going to reproduce it. I have produced it. But I'm going to reproduce it with, action? So that as I sing it, you can see the people were like, run, 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 run on for your life. I'm talking to the kids. And you can actually see the kids running, and I want that to be visible so the people can see it. Our kids identify with songs, you know that.
Yes.
And black folks have always told story songs. Our history has always been told many times in song.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right?
You're right. You are 100% right.
Yes.
I think it was really cool too because she was able to teach the kids about trauma. She was able to talk to them about deep breathing and tools to de-escalate. And she related that back to, what do you think folks from Rosewood experience? How do you think they were able to be resilient and kind of rise above what happened there? So she was able to incorporate a lot of different things throughout the whole month of February. So we couldn't do any of that without you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you all. I appreciate what she is doing. I met her through Kayla.
Yeah.
I spoke in Archer at the library, and she came. Okay.
Yes,
And the rest is history. Yeah, but as long as you're out there doing what we need you to do and appreciate what she's doing for the kids, I can't do it. Okay, I can follow along. I never would have been able to do what she is doing.
Yes.
Okay, it's very, not artistic, it's very, I can't even think of a word, but it is on time.
Yes.
I appreciate it. And knowing that you are working with her, it's even more rewarding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know that until today that you all work together. She didn't tell me, Kayla.
That's why I'm here.
But it's always a pleasure to work with our people that can feel Rosewood. Very painful.
Yes, ma'am.
I have lived it for 42 years, and every day I think about it. And like I say, it is so painful. But God, make sure I got this. And I know people are praying for me.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know more
Every
than
day.
anything else, my mama said, you must research, authenticate, document, tell the truth about Rosewood. Don't forget it. Preserve it, because if we don't, it will repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
And she wanted her children and grandchildren to know about Rosewood. They know about it, but are they willing to carry it to the next step? No. When I ask them, Auntie, it's too painful. I understand it. They say, you're doing a good job, but I can't do it. I said, well, I need somebody to take it forward. Now I have someone to help me take it forward. Thank you very much. You
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Erica and the other people. I'm serious, and I'm not just kidding. I need you all.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but someone needs to step in. And people ask this question of me often. Who is going to take it to the next level? Because I got friends out there. They got my back. And I am depending on Zach, also, Zach is really, really, really interested. He knows the story as well as I do. Very complimentary. He always tells me, "Oh, you did well. Whether I do well or not, he applauds me, and I like that, Zach." Okay, it's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida and America's Black History.
And you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Brittany Coleman. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are back. This is my podcast, the Real Rosewood Foundation, which was established in 2003 to bring you firsthand information about Rosewood. Rosewood was a town in Levy County that was really progressing, majority black. However, there were people adjacent to Rosewood that lived in Sumner, and there was a sawmill in Sumner. The sawmill in Rosewood had closed down. So when they built the sawmill in Sumner, the majority of the black people moved to Sumner and left very few blacks in Rosewood. And when I say very few, I have the school records, and I can tell by looking at the records, because my aunt was a school teacher. I know that there were approximately 20 parents and approximately between 20 and 30 and 40 students. And the reason I gave you those three numbers, because kids didn't like to go to school back then. If they wanted to work, they were allowed to work and not attend school. So we did not have a list that actually confirmed the students that were in school. But they did go if they wished, and if they didn't want to go, they did not have to go. So after my mom's sister was targeted as my storyteller, as my mom's storyteller by her, my mom could no longer tell the story, or didn't want to tell the story because of her age, so she assigned it to me when I was old enough, a job that I did not want to. And I told her, is that my phone? I told her I did not want to. Okay, I did not want to tell the story, but I knew it was a need to keep history alive. And she would tell me often, well, you know, history is who we are. Black history is America's history. My mother knew back then that how important black history was. She told it to her children. 4 of us, 1 listened. And that was me, the youngest. I listened. Then she made me her little go-to person. So thank you, Mom. And because of my mother telling me the story, I have met you. And you. And you. And I tell the story to so many people, but she did specify, you better tell the truth. Never attack the people living today, because they did not create Rosewood. And I want to thank Steve Spurrier, one of my sponsors, for allowing us in this office, this podcast room, to tell the Rosewood story, because he too believes in history. And he told me that, he know it is real because he could feel it. Okay, feel the energy. And Freddie is his assistant director, am I right? I always get it wrong, is his partner.
He's the co-owner of the restaurant, yeah, and his business manager.
Freddie Weeby is the co-owner of this restaurant. And what else?
He's his business manager.
Business manager. I know some of this stuff that I'm asking Zach. I just want you all to hear his voice to let you know that I'm not here alone. You can't see him, but his voice speaks volume. But Meldon Law, my king, he is so into Rosewood. Mm-hmm. He has been at the University of Florida since 1970, and he worked extremely hard with the student athlete of the week. He does that. That's volunteer work. He volunteers and helped me. So had it not been for them, I wouldn't be sitting here today. And thanks to Campus USA Credit Union, where Jerry Benton is the manager there. And I always encourage people each weekend, make sure you get your brunch here from 11 to 3 every weekend at Spurrier's, the best food in town. And they are very, very, very supportive of Rosewood, and I'm very, very, very appreciative. So my mom said, baby, you need to keep the story alive, and if you do, you need a song, and Mom is going to write you a song. However, I know you can't sing, but Mom is going to dictate the song, and she did. Mm-hmm. And the two of us edited it, and the 3 verses that she liked more than anything else, because she wanted people to know that had it not been for them, we would not have survived. And when I say them, I mean white people. Black folks would have died because Cedar Key is next door to Sumner, and Cedar Key is a peninsula surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
One way in and one way out. So this song is what she liked, these verses. The Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood. Standing by the tracks with a lantern, his young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plans, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. The sheriff and the store owner worked around the clock, oh Lord, informed the train conductors just when and where to stop. Pick up the men, women, and children who were hiding out and bring them to Archer, Florida, traveling the same old route. Bob Walker and John Wright took on a daring risk, put the survivors on the train, Lord, and sent them off with a kiss. Notified the Gainesville families to be on the lookout for their kin. Told them the train was a-comin' and told them exactly when.
Thank you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you understand it? I don't have to go back and explain it, right?
I loved it.
Oh, okay. And that's what my good friend Erica Perry is working on, analyzing and future, I don't know the word, but anyway, she's putting it together with action to it. So it's going to be really nice. And as I said, my mom said, keep that history alive. Because had it not been for them, they certainly would have died. And my mother loved the sheriff. Because even after Rosewood, I didn't tell you this, but Aaron, her husband, was captured and said that he was the person who attacked Fannie Taylor. I don't like to tell this part of it. However, he was jailed and taken to Alachua County, where there was another Good Samaritan. The sheriff there, was P.G. Ramsey, and the sheriff in Levy County was Bob Walker. So Bob Walker and P.G. Ramsey of Alachua County was good friends. Both of them white sheriffs, okay? However, when Aaron before they killed him, when the sheriff walked up on the men beating Aaron and said, well, and one of them said, well, he's almost dead, let's finish him off. The sheriff said, no, don't. I'll finish him off. Put him in my car. I'll take him to the woods and I'll kill him. What he did, he brought him to Gainesville, Alachua County, and told P.G. Ramsey, the sheriff there, put him up. And don't you tell anybody he is here. Because you know back then they would have gone, invaded, captured him and killed him. And that's what P.G. Ramsey did. My Uncle Aaron was in the Alachua County jail for 6 months. His wife didn't know if he was dead or alive, and he didn't know if she had survived, but she survived on that train. So the story goes on and on and on, and I want people to know it. I want our kids to know that all people are not bad, okay? That some took chances, risking their families' lives, but they still helped out with what was going on in Rosewood. Now,
Yes.
You have a Rosewood question that you would like to ask me, or do you not? Anything?
I mean, you kind of answered it when you were talking about your mom, but it's a huge responsibility to have to carry that mantle for as long as you've been carrying it.
It is.
And my background is in crisis intervention and management, and understanding trauma and all of those things, and to have to tell and retell the story has an impact. So my question is more personal on how do you take care of yourself, or how do you wish that we would come alongside you and help with the load. Probably a bigger question to answer than we have time for, but it's always about how you take care of you.
Myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, basically, today when I go home, the first thing I'm going to do, get in bed, take a nap. I sleep.
Yeah.
That is the healing. I take a nap, then I wake up, I'm okay. But I wish, as you just asked me, and I wish my community would help more. Just your words of what you just said to me is healing. That makes me feel good, that you care. So many people don't care about it. I don't want to hear that, okay? That's history. That's old. But that's who we are. We did not get here on generational wealth. Okay, we suffered. Our ancestors sacrificed. They didn't have an education, but they wanted everybody to get an education so that we could do better and reach back and help others. And I don't get the reach back. This weekend in Tampa, and you were there,
yeah.
Orlando, see, that's why I pay you to keep me straight.
I got you.
I had the best time of my life because I already knew my international grand bachelor of Zeta Phi Beta sorority, but I got an opportunity to talk to her, and you heard what she said to me. Would you like to repeat what she told me about?
She said she would love to come on this podcast, and she recognized that here in Gainesville we have pillars, not just of Alachua County, but of the African American story in this country. And she pointed specifically to you and Rosewood, and you being that torchbearer for us. So, you heard it here first. The International Grand Bacillus of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated said she would be on this podcast.
Exactly. And what I want you to do, Zach, when she is going to be on this podcast, I want to do a Zoom. I want you to, okay, we can do a Zoom her in. Will it be available, set up with a link so that other people from elsewhere?
It could be.
Okay, so we are going to do a link, and we're going to invite everybody to be on this podcast. And I would like for you to come back and sit with me.
I would love to. I'd
Okay.
be honored to do that.
Okay, so it will be the two of us, and we will be talking to the Grand. Okay. And I am looking forward, and thank you. Anything else you would like to say about your program, about Rosewood?
I'm just really grateful to be here. We are under Gainesville Fire Rescue here for the city of Gainesville. So, I'm happy to sit down and talk with anybody about the work that we're doing and how we can build partnerships and coordination. I'm really looking forward to that. So, I'm happy to give my contact information for this podcast so people can reach out to me anytime they need to.
Perfect. And I would like to say again that thanks to the Steve Spurrier team, and they are awesome. They are awesome, and I have interviewed all 6 of the University of Florida female coaches. Okay, and I do attend their games, and sometimes take my nieces and nephews. However, I was told by the coach, Finley. Can't think of her name.
Kelly Ray Finley.
Kelly Ray Finley. See, I told you.
That's
That's Zach. And she said to me, when the season is over, she wants to take the girls to Rosewood. I said, well, there's nothing there. They need to visit the ground. She said, I have 8 players from 8 different countries. They know nothing about Rosewood. They need to know history. And she didn't say black history, she said. And they are not black. All of them are not black. She said they need to know history. And I am honored. I'll let you know when we go to see if other people can go with us and meet us there. I would love for you to be one of the chaperones if we need it. Okay? So, I am certainly happy. I had a good weekend this week, my best, one of my best, because this young lady, my soror, was there with me, and she heard all of the good news. So thank you again, Brittany Coleman, for being my guest.
Yes, ma'am.
On podcast episode number 156, I believe, close to it. But anyway, I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, and this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye.